I am the youngest of two in a family of four. My dad was a career military man. He was also a music minister through most of my childhood. Later in life, he surrendered to the pastorate, actually around about my freshman, sophomore year of high school. My mom was a stay-at-home mom, and I have an older brother. Growing up in a military family was challenging, but also very rewarding. Being in that environment, always changing locations. We moved every 2 to 3 years, and with my dad being both a music minister and Air Force, we, even though we weren't always moving bases, we would move houses a lot. Rentals would run out, or we'd always try and split the distance between a church and a base assignment. And so constantly being on the move, we were presented with the opportunities to live in a wide variety of places and experience a lot of things. I would be one of those that if the church doors were open, we were there. My dad was raised that way, and he made sure to raise my brother and me that way. And even at the times when he wasn't on staff as an associate pastor or worship leader or youth pastor for a little while, we were always there. And a lot of our family life and community life was lived through the church because, with all the moving, that just always seemed to be where we came back to, and was a lot of our social interactions. I was saved at the age of 6, so my memory is spotty, but as far as my memory of my thoughts of God, he was somebody I was always taught about. My dad made sure that my brother and I grew up having family devotional time every morning. I saw the relationship that my parents had and the impact that their faith had in their day-to-day life and their decisions, so I knew God was somebody of importance. What led me to salvation, the day that I got saved, was a Sunday night at Trinity Baptist Church in Silsbee, Texas. As I said before, my family, we were raised in church. We were always there. And Brother Abe Ojay was up preaching. We had a traditional Southern Baptist service, the songs and then the message. And he gave an invitation, and that night I just really felt like I needed to go forward. And I nudged my mom. My dad was homesick. I nudged my mom, and Mom, I need to go down there. And she's okay, and she stepped aside, and I white-knuckled the pew in front of me, and she stepped back in. She's, you need to go? I said, yeah, I need to go down there. And this persisted for a little while, and the invitation ended, and it was over, said and done with, and services were adjourned, and I went to my mom and said, Mom, I still need to go down there. And so I went and I found Brother Abe, and he took me into his office and played question and answer with me, and I came to the realization of my need for a Savior as a direct result of the influence of my parents. Being raised in a home where we prayed, being raised in a home where God was made the priority, and all those things combined together to show me that even at that early of an age, I needed a relationship with Christ. And that night I went home after making that decision, jumped in the middle of my dad's bed as he's lying there sick, and Dad, you'll never believe what happened, and just got to share with him and see his face light up as he knew that his youngest had made a decision to follow Christ. My life's memory, my life journey, everything has filtered through that relationship with Christ. With all the moving that we did, he was that constant. My parents teaching me the importance of reading my Bible and everything, and spending time in prayer and growing and maturing in my faith. The decisions that I was faced, I wasn't one of those kids that got mixed up in drugs and everything because of my relationship. At time when my family hit hard times, there were a couple of different points where, my family really fell on very hard times, be it poverty or strains in the family. I always had a peace about what was going to happen. I always knew that God was in control. Jesus Christ gives my life purpose and meaning. In a world where that's what everybody is searching for, purpose and meaning, I find my purpose, my meaning, my worth, my value, not in what I do, not in anything I can possess, but in who Christ says I am. He died for me. He rose again. He gives me life. He gives me purpose and meaning.
Stories are important to us. They share experiences, triumphs, joys, and laughter. And while your story may not be the same as Patrick's, it is still the story of redemption that God has written on your life. Faith Baptist wants to give you the opportunity to share your story with others. The process is simple. Sign up at the connection table for My Story, My Faith, and we will set up a time to film your story. We do all the work from there.
I am Patrick Bottoms. This is my story, and this is my faith.
You are a miracle, and your story is a testimony to who Jesus is. Don't wait. Sign up today to begin sharing your story, your faith, with the world.